package in the mail, MSX games from Japan. Collecting without fail, those shoot 'em ups, that's the plan. He doesn't just collect them, he also codes them too. Join us and we'll go on electric adventures with you.
Hey YouTube, Electric Adventures here with my monthly update for May 2019. Time flies when you're having fun. Bit of a shorter distance between videos because I was late with the last one. So I don't have a tremendous lot of pickups, but I do have some items. Now the first one, which arrived, haven't had it that long, but I have actually read it. And it is the Master System Compendium. Now, for those long followers of my channel will know that the Master System is one of the systems that I've always liked. I have over the years worked towards a full world set of Master System games. I don't have the full world set because I sort of stopped when they started getting a bit expensive. Although not only a couple of months ago I added another 3 titles I needed towards my collection, so I will get there one day. So this is a very good high quality book. Now bitmap books are a bit, they do, people tend to say, you know, take advantage of the collecting hobby a little bit, but I will say the quality of this particular item is fantastic, and for a Master System fan like myself, I have really enjoyed this book. I've read it all the way through cover to cover, and it's actually really well written. The screenshots are wonderful. Let's get the book. Sorry, I've packed it away in a slipcover. So you've got the hard cover around the outside, then you've got the book itself, which is really nice quality, and it has an actual slipcover. It comes with a Master System bookmark. Let's just open it to a bit. Oh, there we go. It opened to Alex Kidd. There are some sections that are done, you know, some games that are special that are done with fold outs. And you have bits on the hardware as well. There's a section on Bubble Bobble, so it's all very well done, very well written, and a very enjoyable read. And interesting enough, some of my Master System collection I got in bulk lots when I was really into collecting it, and it made me realise, as I was reading through this, I'm going, I don't think I've actually played that game before. I know I've got it, and I recognise the screenshots, but I don't think I've actually played it myself. So this book will probably trigger some gameplay videos on Master System titles that I've never really played properly. So really good, really enjoyed it. Now there were a couple of extra things that came with it. I haven't opened any of these. There's a set of 3D glasses. That's to celebrate the you know, the 3D glasses that came from the Master System. There's a little Alex Kidd Dear Backer sort of card, and there are some more postcards in there which I haven't opened. The first one there is a Space Harrier inspired one. I've just left those sealed for the time being. I'll probably will open them at some stage. So very nice book. Enjoyed it a lot. So I said I've already completely read that one. Now I did get another book. This one I've only had for a few days. Now I've been a follower of Matt Barton since I started on YouTube, and I am, if those paying attention to my recent room tour video will notice that I love you know, physical role-playing games. I've kept all of my science fiction role-playing games, but I do have most of my original Dungeons and Dragons as well. So, and a lot of the actual PC games that I used to play back in the day were your PC role-playing games, like Icewind Dale series and the Baldur's Gate series. Some of the ones that I you know, played lots and lots back in the day. Now, a while back, Matt and I believe Shane Stacks released a book called Dungeons and Desktops, but what they've done is they've realised over time that they could do a better job and a lot more detail, and not that history's changed or anything like that, but they've found out more information and their writing style has improved. So they released a second edition. So here is Dungeons and Desktops. Also, the original only had black and white pictures, whereas in this one they have coloured pictures. Now, I haven't read very far yet. You can actually see my bookmark in there. I've actually only really just started, mainly because I'm reading another novel that I'm quite enjoying at the moment as well. So it goes through the different ages. So far, from the very little that I've read, it's quite well written. It's not expensive. You can order it off Amazon if you're after a copy, and for a person like me that really likes role-playing games and has played them for most of his life, this particularly piqued my interest. So I'm looking forward to finishing reading that as well. Right, now also I did, and these basically arrived when I was away, I got some replacement RAM chips for the Berzerk machine from China. These are the original RAM chips from the Berzerk machine. So the Berzerk machine is behind you there. So all I've done is taken all these chips out. I've kept them on this in the same order that I took them off, so I've got them for reference, and I've put all the new chips in on it. Now the machine does more than it did before. Now I've spent absolutely zero time on this, probably half an hour just to take the chips out, put the new ones in. I haven't cleaned any of the sockets or anything like that, and there is improvement. Whereas before, you turn the machine on, you wouldn't notice anything. You press the test switch, and if you were looking at the monitor, you would see some garbage pop up, and then maybe what looked like a display of RAM chips, and then it would disappear and you'd see nothing else. After changing this, it now displays the garbage screen, which is, I suppose, filling the screen full of colour. Then it displays the chip display, and then it cycles around and goes back to the garbage display. So it's actually staying there and doing rotation. So I have improved things slightly. Now I've also, to make sure, I have ordered some actual original RAM, so the same as what is on here, from the US, and some double-sized RAM, because apparently, reading up a bit more, if you populate every second chip socket, you can use the larger RAM instead, and it'll be more reliable. And I also ordered what's called a fiberglass pen. You use the fiberglass pen to clean the chip socket. So even though it's got chip sockets on there, there's only a very small surface area for the chips to hold onto them, and there might be nothing wrong with the chips. It might just be the actual sockets they're plugging into aren't very clean. And of course I need some time, so I'll show up here some pictures of what it looks like after I did this RAM chips, but it's very positive. It shows beyond a doubt that the monitor is working, and the video circuitry is, I'm getting closer. I've just got to get the menu out and diagnose what it's trying to tell me with the picture that it's displaying. It's all the time thing. I've barely had half an hour to spend looking at that. Also at the same time, for the same plot, I've got some Z80 chips, which will help me with some of the arcade boards, because I have several arcade boards that that boot up and you get stationary screens. That's quite often that's a CPU that's not working. But once again, I haven't tried cleaning any of the sockets yet either, so I'll be doing that with the fiberglass pen. So the fiberglass pen is going to be very useful. And even like my original Sega Galaxian board, the Z80 CPU, and that was fine, and my clone Galaxian didn't come with a Z80 CPU, so I've stolen the one from the Sega Galaxian one and used it in that one. So I'll be able to put one of these new Z80s in that clone Galaxian, so at least it's got its own, and I can put the original back, because there could also be different speeds as well. Also, one thing I forgot that I got while I was away, and this was at the end of the trip, so it was definitely in May, I got some PlayStation socks. It was just in a shop, a set of shops we're in Sydney. My wife saw them and said, "Oh, Tony, would you like those?" And I said, "Yes." So I've already worn them, so I'll just show a picture up here of them in the original packaging, because they're already being worn and in the wash, and that was quite good. So they're quite comfortable. They fit quite well. And one more little pickup. So my local mates have been or come across a lot of various items recently where people have run out of storage, and they're basically been giving some items away. So there are enough of these that I'm about to show you for one set for each of myself and my friends. And they are, and I don't have much Apple stuff in my hardware collection, so it's nice to add a little bit. So this is a Macintosh LC2. No, I've never had an LC in this particular style before. I did have an early LC, but it got water all over it and thing, so I threw it away. I believe I may have the keyboard and mouse, which I haven't found yet. So I haven't been able to test these. So there's two, you can tell there's things. So this is an LC2. I've already taken the top off. Let's do that again now so you can see what's inside. Okay, so this one's fully populated. We have a hard drive, we actually have an Ethernet card, and it has, you know, the RAM banks are full. It's got two different RAM banks, so I'm assuming one of those is the video RAM and one's the normal RAM. So there's an LC2, model number M1700, definitely made for Australia, with the voltage assembled in Singapore. So, looking forward to having time to play with it. It actually looks very clean. It doesn't look like there's any leakage. There's a little battery thing there that is empty, which is good, and there's no leakage near it, so nothing was left in there too long. So there's no reason why I'm not going to be able to get that up and running. Let's put that back, and there's a little bit of yellowing on there, but it's not too bad. Let's put that back on. Little machine now, light, and there's one more. Ooh, looks the same, but this is an Macintosh LC3, so a slightly newer model, slightly different on the back. Right, so this one's fully populated. The battery's been taken out, so you've got the hard drive, floppy drive, an Ethernet card, the socket that's empty there I believe is the mass coprocessor, and the RAM configuration is different, see, notice that, but both sockets are full. So this is a model M1254, and this one's assembled in Malaysia, but once again for our region because the power is correct. Looks pretty good. A little bit of rust on the fan there. The battery's been taken out, which is good. But I'm going to have to see whether I can find the appropriate keyboard and mouse. I will find one eventually, and then we can have a bit of a play with it. Interesting that the back is actually a fair way away from the back plane, so I'm not sure whether that's supposed to be like that or whether something's come undone. There we go. That's better. Might be a screw missing in there, or maybe it's not screwed, maybe it's just clipped in and it's moved. So, interesting additions to the retro computer collection, and those that know me know I like playing with this sort of stuff, and I hope to have some more time soon to have a proper play with those and get them up and running, and when I do I'll make another video about them as well. So that's about all for this time. Also, I have started, now that I'm back from holidays, settled back into work, I have gotten back into my homebrew development. Now I have completely finished the materials for the next Let's Make a Retro Game series, and have a basic plan for the episode after. So I just need some time to record. I'll probably do that next weekend. So there'll be another episode of that, plus there'll be gameplays of some Master System games, because I'm in the particular mood to play some of those. And also the Sydney Hunter version for the NES. I've basically putting in more level data and things like that. Nothing else to show yet, but hopefully next time I'll be very, very close to finished. It's been far too long working on that game, and I need to get finished so I can work on my other projects as well. I've also been working out how to do the speech in my version of Berzerk for Coleco and MSX as well. So spurred on by my Berzerk machine back there, I really want to get that finished as well. Alright, I hope a short one for this month. Hope everybody out there is enjoying their retro, their gaming and their collecting. I'm Electric Adventures, thanks to all my subscribers. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.